I love doing these, dude. I love doing the census. I was a little afraid of doing the census, but now that I'm doing it, it's like so much fun. We are doing the mother census. You all have demanded it. It's happening. The HasanAbi census with data from June 2020 to July 2023. Now, for those of you who don't know, the HasanAbi census occurs usually once a year, sometimes twice a year, but usually once a year around the time of August. We do this for the community, and it's by the community, okay? Maybe some of you guys will be doing your first census. Maybe some of you have been around for like 3 of them. Maybe this is your second census. We are going to be doing the poll on the Twitch pop-out, of course. Okay, up first on the annual census, we have age, okay? Under 18 is the first category. 18 to 21 is the second category. 22 to 25 is the third category. 26 to 29 is the third category. And the 30 plus is the last category. Now, of course, when we first did the census in June 2020, the 30 plus category was tiny. The under 18 category was at 15%. And over the course of many, many years, this number has diminished. When we first started it, June 2020, under 18 was 15.6%. Here, I'm going to start the poll now. Now, many of you have gotten older. Okay, many of you have gotten older. Also, 30 plus is a very big category. It means 30 to whatever the. And it seems like this community has gotten so much older over the course of many, many years. We went from 30 plus at 18.98% to the last census, 30 plus factoring 37.6%. I mean, next year is going to be only 30 plus at this point. Under 18 went from 15.6% in June 2020 to 3.4% in July 2023. 18 to 21 went from 19.49% to 13.97%. 22 to 25 in June 2020 was almost 30% of the census voters, and it went down to 22.41%. 26 to 29 age demographic went from 18% to 23%. So that also increased, obviously. So like the upper limit is getting larger and larger. Oh, the poll is over. Age 30 plus is at 44%. So we went from 30 plus being 37% to 44%. Many of you gotten older. 26 to 29 is at 22%. It used to be at 23%. 22 to 25 went from 22.41% to 21%. 18 to 21 went from 13.97, almost 14%, to 11%. And the under 18 category is now at 2%. It went from 3% to 2%. It is officially Unk Central in this bitch. Only 10K voted out of 30K. What's up with that? What do you mean? That's even more voter participation in the in this poll than the last one, pretty much. While this community is still much younger in comparison to other communities that engage with politics, of course, the community keeps getting older and older and older. Does it stress you out to see the changes in your audience? Like, you ever feel like you're falling off? Why would I feel like I'm falling off? My average viewer count is literally identical to what it was, if not higher right now than it was this time around. Falling off at 35K is a ridiculous question to ask. No, my community is getting older, understandably, as many people have stayed. The only difference here is that I'm not picking up a new slate of younger people because they're all too busy watching TikTok or, you know, believing in Andrew Tate and listening to Aiden Ross. That's the unfortunate consequence of how this shit works, okay? I started watching you when I was 23. I'm 26 now. There you go. Let's continue. Let's get to gender. This is a tricky one, as always. For gender, we have male, female, non-binary, and other. Polls start now. The male percentage of this community has actually gone down. In June 2020, the male percentage was 83%, whereas the female percentage was 11.51. Last cycle, last census, July 2023, The male number had went down to 69.6%, and the female number had gone up to 22.69%. Oh, and the non-binary number went from 3.61% to 6.8%. Now, part of that, and I'm not even joking when I say this, I think it unironically is a consequence of some assigned male at birth chatters literally becoming coming to the recognition that they are trans women. I'm not even joking when I say this. I think that probably has played a role in this. However, polling results are up, and it seems to me like male is at 67%, females at 24%, and non-binary is at 8%, with other at 1%. The female audience percentage is growing. Have you personally observed any changes in discussions with chat that you think could correlate to the shift in the census? I think all of this makes sense. Young men definitely have a more right-wing attitude now. You've also gotten hotter. Maybe. I was a cis male when I started watching in 2018. Now I'm a trans woman, Lamau. There you go. 2020 to 2021 was your largest shift? Election. The fan cams on TikTok are working, folks. All right, we have the percentages right here. Male is at 67% with 9,000 votes. Female is at 24% with 3,000 votes. Non-binary at 8% and other at 1%. The number of men in this community is going down at an alarming rate, from 83% to now 67%. The number of women in this community have gone up from 11.51% to now 24%, the highest percentage we have logged in this community. I welcome this change. And with the number of non-binary people going from 3.61 to a whopping 8%. All right, up next is political ideology. We have socialist, social democrat, apolitical, liberal, and conservative. Now, over the years, the number of conservatives have diminished from, in 2020, at 5.24% to the last time around with 1.08% conservatives. The number of liberals have also gone from 7.69% to 2%. The number of social democrats have gone from 37.5% to 18%, and the number of socialists went from 51.5% to 75%. Socialist is all-encompassing. It just means anti-capitalist. Do you think conservatives are leaving or converting? No, 100%. It is. It's most likely, especially the jump from sock them to socialist, is a matter of conversion. I would say with liberals is a matter of conversion. With apolitical is a matter of conversion. Maybe even with conservatives. Shout out to Brilliant Drink for the graphs, by the way. Yes, thank you, Brilliant Drink. All right, it seems like the results are in. 77% is socialist, 18% is social democrat, 2% is apolitical, 2% is liberal, and 1% is conservative. There you have it, folks. All right, moving on to ethnicity. I love doing these, dude. I love doing the census. I was a little afraid of doing the census, but now that I'm doing it, it's like so much fun. It's like a fun surprise for me to see like what has changed, okay? We have Caucasian, Hispanic / Latiner. We have Asian Pacific Islander. We have Black and mixed / other. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we started off with 43% Caucasian in June 2020, with 13.4% Hispanic Latiner, with 9% Asian Pacific Islander, 7% Black, and 25% mixed other. We arrived last time around at 57.9% Caucasian. The community is becoming whiter and whiter. 17.8% Hispanic Latiner, that number grew. The Asian Pacific Islander number dropped, and the Black chatter community has stayed resilient and strong in spite of everything else at 7%. With mixed other at 8%. This is one of the few polls that actually shows a change in the demographics of this community, as in like people leaving, people coming in, versus, you know, aging out of certain groups. 58% of the chat Caucasian, 17% Hispanic Latiner, 8% mixed other, 8% Asian Pacific Islander, and 8% Black. That's actually kind of crazy. So the Black audience grew a little bit, whereas the Asian Pacific Islander audience remained just about the same, and the Hispanic Latino audience got smaller by like a small margin, with the mixed other community staying the same. Okay, up next is religion. All right, we have atheist / agnostic. Then we have Christian. Then we have Islam. Judaism, and other. In June 2020, we had 73% atheist agnostic. That number grew to 78%. Christians went from 11.58 to 10.54. Islam went from 674 to 2.54. God damn. The percentage of Jews went from 0.98 to 1.5, and other went from 7.4 to 7.1. What about the people not watching right now by his poll? I mean, that's how it works. This is how the census works. If you're not in here, you're not going to be represented. It is what it is. Okay. There it is. Atheist agnostic at 76%. Went down by 2 points. Christian stayed at 11 points, or at 11%. Other at 7%, which was at 7.1. Islam and Judaism are picking up again, going from 1.5 and 2.5 to 2 and 4. The poll results here are inaccurate, as evidenced by the fact that I've made you all say the Shahada. So whether or not you like it, you're all Muslim. All right, up next is sexuality. Straight, bi/pan, gay/lesbian, asexual, and questioning/other. What has happened in this community is we went from 7% questioning to 4% questioning, 2.3% asexual to 417 asexual, which has remained resilient. Gay and lesbian went from 6.3 to 5.8. Bi and pan grew big time from 1879 to 2581. Straights from June 2020 going from 65% to 60%. Straight is at 56%, down from 60%. Bi pan up from 25% to 28%. Gay and lesbian up from 5.8% to 8%. Asexual up from 4% to 5%. Community has been homofied successfully. My goals of queering the adult population is occurring. Height. Now the categories changed for 2023, so we're going to be using those categories. We changed that to under 5 foot, to 5'1" to 5'5", 5'6" to 5'8", 5'9" to 5'11", and then last but not least, 6 foot plus. Wait, what? What the f is going on? Bruh, this is identical. Bro, we're adults anymore. We don't grow anymore, dumbass. Okay, but the demographics changed. So did you have a race change? Like, what are you talking about, chat? Did you have a race change? No, I would have expected at least like that is crazy that like the racial makeup of the chat has changed, but like this is like damn near identical. It's crazy. Yeah, we have new chatters, but with the same height distribution. Next question is trans chatters. Okay, C versus T. Here it is. Cisgender versus transgender. The number of trans people from August 2022 to July 2023, when we added this category, pretty much stayed fairly consistent, 12% to 87%. Yeah, it seems like it's 85 to 15%. Okay, there it is, 14% trans to 86% cis. The trans population has grown. Up next is location. This is another one that is really annoying with people. Americas, Australia, Europe, Asia, Africa. Stop saying what about New Zealand? All right, Americas means South America and North America, which is usually around 81% to 82%. Australia 2.6 to 1.8, Europe 10.7 to 14.27 in 2023, Asia 2.75 to 1.75. There's a drop off there. Africa went from 1.08 to 0.58. This distribution makes sense given the timing of the poll. Yes, Australia includes New Zealand. There it is. Okay, I'm going to end the poll. Moving on to salary. Once again, we're about to find out if you broke boys have stayed broke or if you've actually started making more money, if you got your money up instead of your funny up. First is none/unemployed. Second bracket is 1 to 20K. Third bracket is 20 to 50K. Fourth bracket is 50K to 100K. And the last bracket is 100K plus. A lot of this actually makes sense considering that the 100K plus bracket has grown and the 50 to 100K bracket has grown and the 20K has grown a little bit. It makes sense from December 2020 considering that hella people are getting older and therefore making more money. None/unemployed grew this year, it seems, to 30% from 28.6%. 1 to 20,000 at 14%. It dropped from 15% to 14. 20 to 50K bracket went from 21 to 21. It stayed the same. 50K to 100K grew from 22.8 to 23. And the 100K bracket went from 11.7% to the highest percentage it has been so far, 13%. Bidenomics is thriving at the HasanAbi broadcast. This also makes sense as to why my subscription count has grown and has stayed resilient over the course of these past couple of years. Joseph Robinette Brandon has brought forth prosperity that is unimaginable. The unemployment numbers went up a little bit, but overall, the 50 to 100K bracket is at 23%. The 20 to 50K bracket is at 21%, stayed the same pretty much. 1 to 20 went from 15 to 14. But the biggest improvement has been on the 100K plus that went from 11.7 to 13%. God damn, people are flexing. Okay, everybody calm down, you champagne socialists. Holy shit. Okay, people are going crazy. God damn, son, chill. TF Carrot, I can't even read all these names. Not every person making 100K plus has to make themselves be known in the chat. Okay, Punk Nerd, thank you for the 20 gifted. Top chatters showing themselves. All right, we're moving on to the next category. Education. Okay, this is a tricky pizzicky right here. I don't even know why I keep saying that. God damn it. Okay, bro, we get it. Y'all are rich. Holy shit, dude. Calm down. Jesus Christ. Education. High school / GED. Associates / trade. Bachelor of Arts / Bachelor of Science. Masters and PhD, MD, or JD. Let's take a look at what the community's level of education looks like now. Is it highest attained or in progress counts? In progress counts. From 2022 to 2023, the PhD number has remained pretty much the same. Masters went from 8 to 9. BA went from 46 to 44. Associate's trade stayed pretty much the same from 14 to 13. High school GED went from 26.9 to 29.5. Now, high school GED has gone from 29 back down to 27. Associates in trade still at 14%. Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Sciences at 45 to 44.5. Not big change there. Masters went from 9 to 10. And the PhD went from 3.4 to 4%. PhD, MD, and JDs went from 3.4 to 4%. More people with degrees than without? That's not very surprising. New poll. We poll is initiated. When we first started this in December 2020, no's were at 52% and the yes were at 47%. I used to consider myself a non-weeb. And I think since then I have obviously come to the recognition that I am openly a weeb. Things have changed for me. I used to not accept my identity, much like many chatters went from questioning to like gay or bi or pan, or chatters who went from male to female or whatever. Okay. A lot of us have come a long way and have come to certain recognitions. And yes, I would probably consider myself a weeb now. Okay. The community went from no being the majority to no being the minority, but you know, it's almost like a direct swap. Weeb percentages at 55% no, 45% yes. All right, moving on. Eating. We got some real eaters in here or what? Okay, we have carnists, omnivore. We have vegetarians. We have vegans and pescatarians. Let's take a look. Okay, HasanAbi Census, carnist, omnivores are at 89.2%, and they have remained resilient at 88%. Vegetarians at 5.1. This number has not really changed. Vegetarians grew to 6%. Vegans went from 3%, 4% to 3%, back up to 4%, and pescatarians at 3%. It seems like that's just not changing. Okay, carnists at 89%. We won. Vegans 4%. They're not even annoying anymore. Vegans don't even bring up being vegan in every goddamn situation. It's kind of crazy. They just like kind of gave up. Vegetarians at 5%. That's normal. That's the same. All right, moving on. The last one is neurodiversity. That was the last time we did this was the first time we did this. Okay, this is a first up. We're going to see if there's any changes Neurodiversity. Yes. No. All right, here it is. Let's get it started. No is at 36%. Yes is at 64%. Yes is at 66%. No is at 34%. That's crazy. It's like pretty close. Okay, I kind of want to do one last poll. I said I was not going to do more polls, but I do want to know this just for my own personal interest. I'm going to do a gaming watcher and not gaming watcher poll after this, okay? 64 to 36%. 64 yeppers, 36% nopers. It's identical to last time. Okay, new poll. I watch all, I watch some, I leave immediately. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, let's see. Holy dude, people are unembarrassed. They just go, I leave immediately. 20% say I leave immediately. 62% say I watch some. 18% say I watch all. This makes a lot of sense. The smallest percentage of this community watch all gaming. Are you surprised by the results? I am surprised by nothing. I am surprised by absolutely nothing I've found out from any of these different poll results so far. I'm not surprised by the fact that we've gotten older as a community, because like that's the only thing that changed really. It's virtually the same community, it just got older. Obviously, like the gender changed a little bit. Yeah, people got older, people got richer, people got better educational attainment. I guess you really do know your community. I mean, yeah, the TikTok industrial complex is starting to gain speed. That's true. I wonder if it'll shift the demographic makeup of this community at all, but that's it. Thank you so much to Brilliant Drink and Lil Bear. Do these polls match up the demographic metrics you get from Twitch? Twitch doesn't give us any metrics. New data available in the graphs, just refresh. Damn, you put that shit in immediately, huh? Holy now we can see it in real time. We can see the change in real time. Percentage of male went down. Percentage of female went up. I'm gonna say a quarter of this community is women. 8% is non-binary. Number of socialists has gone up. Caucasian has remained strong, but pretty much the racial breakdown, the racial makeup of the chat is like almost identical. I mean, yeah, it just seems like it's the same community overall. Sexuality changed a little bit. Like, dude, the height is identical from last year. Like, look at this shit. Look at these margins. Like, yeah, it's the same ass community. It's just like a little bit gayer and more trans. Dude, this is identical, dude. I mean, this is just my Twitch audience, obviously. Okay.